Well, I have not felt very inspired the last few days. In fact, I've kind of felt like I was in survival mode. Pretty raw on the nerves, stressful things happening with one of my businesses, and just feeling like just very needy. And of course, if you're needy, then where are you drawing your power? You're giving it away. Not much of a question, right? Didn't wait for anybody to answer. You're giving it away. And what's even worse is that you're looking for someone to step in and save you, right? My wife's been away visiting my son, helping him move. And I know I look to her as kind of to meet those emotional needs. And I've said this before, that when the day was coming when she was going to leave, I was feeling rather anxious. And that was kind of the catalyst for me going back on escitalopram. It's only 5 milligrams, but I think it's helped. Anything that helps, right? I would rather not be on anything, but shoot, whatever helps. I needed something to kind of help even things out, and I think even just that little bit has been good. But anyway, back to the original thing. I just have not felt, original topic. I just have not felt very inspired. I've been in reactive mode and really struggling, working with, trying to think of a really good word. I guess struggle would be pretty apropos, even though it's quite a negative word. But that's kind of a negative period, right? Just let's be honest about it. I would rather not struggle, but there we are. I know I am coming out the other end, and it probably won't be the last time. Because this is life, right? You just kind of cycle back through. But at each round, I've learned a lot. I'm certainly not ignorant of some parts of astrology and some things that are happening out there. I've been hearing all over the internet of the people that well, not the internet, but the YouTubers that I listen to. They're all talking about Lionsgate, but we're in the Lionsgate until, what, the 12th or something? And this is like the biggest energy portal of the year, and this one's special. I can't remember why. But I've definitely felt something. Just things are just more acute. And I've been more determined than ever to really implement some principles. And those are relaxing, allowing, choosing me, in other words, to use other people's words. I can't remember who to attribute them to right now, but thank you, everyone, for your contributions to my welfare and the welfare of so many others, and just passing along whatever I learned to whomever, maybe just to myself. But so choosing me, and that means thinking of what I want, what would be most desirable to me. And I guess Bashar said it's whatever, what is it, your desire or motivation or whatever piques your, I don't know. Whatever you feel really motivated to do. What is it that you really want to do? Sometimes it'll be oh, I just need to get this one thing off my plate because it's just standing in the way between me and feeling like I can relax. I think that qualifies. I've certainly got a few of those. And so there's choosing yourself, there's not going into hyperdrive, going really fast, speeding up your system. I was listening to David Baer yesterday. He was summarizing Dr. Oh my gosh, why did I forget his name? Becoming Supernatural. He wrote that book. Anyway, you probably know who I'm talking about. And if you don't, I'm sure you'll figure it out. But David Baer had an excellent video summarizing some of the main points of this Dr. somebody. But, and I've really appreciated his writings. But he said, if you are going into speeding up mode, just take a look, and you're probably going into that fight or flight. You're not calm, you're not being present, which is another one of the principles, just being present. Slow down. I had an experience yesterday where I know Source, my inner being, was having fun with me because I was trying to do two things at the same time. I was on the phone trying to get in touch with a customer service rep for a business, and I was also trying to text someone back and forth and put their information into a database to send them an email they needed. So as I was doing both, I hung up the phone, and then my page froze on the internet, so I couldn't do anything. I lost both. It was useless. All that time I'd spent was just useless. And instead, I started over on one thing at a time. Shoot, that's just the way it goes sometimes. But it was a good reminder, and I laughed because I thought, okay, I'm just going way too fast, and this is causing me stress. In fact, I came downstairs. My daughter was fixing some lunch, and she could see I was kind of agitated, and she made me a little sandwich, and I was going to run out the door and get to a service appointment for my car. Little bugbear that I was terribly late to. And I finally just realized, I thought, I'm trying to do too much. So I canceled the service appointment for my car, and I spent the next half hour just chatting with my daughter. She fixed me a sandwich. I enjoyed the sandwich, and I was just trying to be present, just chilling. I felt so much better. Yeah, I was just going too fast. Fight or flight just was not pleasant. It's so, yeah, choosing myself, following my highest vibration, my highest desire, impetus. Can't remember what that was from Bashar, but anyway, you get the gist. Being present, not revving my engines, noticing where I'm at on the fight or flight, trying to just keep my vibrations high and just expecting good. Reminding myself that everything has always worked out for me, and it always will. There's no reason to expect it. There's no reason to get into dire situations. Everything has always worked out, and it's usually worked out much better than I thought, so someone's looking out for me. But I came to the decision today, or kind of a discovery decision. Ego, right, drives kind of that fight or flight. It's always constantly planning, predicting, forecasting, and it's always in the negative. So I thought, and I've heard as well, we're not out to destroy our ego. Our ego is performing a wonderful function. It's just that we're not physically in danger so much anymore. We have situations that we really can't control. They're not going to kill us. They're not going to hurt us. They're just things are going to happen. And really, we'd be so much happier if we just allowed them to happen and followed inspiration and tweaked things here and there and corrected things here and there and just observed with curiosity and allowed the universe to guide us. But no, usually with our egos, we are forecasting problems and trying to solve them with our own solutions, and that's a recipe for a lot of stress and maybe not the best success. So I thought, I've struggled with my ego for a long time. No surprise, right? That I've reasoned with it and so on. Today I thought, I just need a partnership more than anything. I said, ego, let me call you something else, because ego is always such a negative thing. So I renamed my ego after the State Department's regional security officer. So I just call my ego my RSO. If you're in the State Department ever, you would know exactly what that was. Anyway, but it's a more friendly name, and I have a lot of respect for the RSOs that have served with me overseas over the last 20 years. So my ego, I have been calling today my RSO. And I told it its job is to, of course, protect me physically if I'm in danger. But otherwise, just gently remind me to go into my heart. Focus into my heart and look at the situation and make a decision or think about the situation from there. So it's my partnership. I'm going to remind my ego of that partnership constantly until hopefully we get to the point where it's more of a routine. RSO will keep me safe, but also remind me to go into my heart center when there are things that are triggering us. Me and RSO. We get triggered. So there we go. I've felt a lot better. I hope you're doing okay. It's an interesting time. Talk to you later.